Val here with Gambler Lures. Just coming off a top 5 finish, 4th place in the Rayovac on Okeechobee. And I wanted to kind of sit down and recap a little bit about what I was doing and talk a little bit about location, what I was targeting, and bait choice and why I was throwing the bait I was throwing. First of all, location. I pretty much had committed to flipping for this tournament. A cold front come through, and during practice, my better bites were coming with a flipping stick in my hand. So, I kind of narrowed down that I was going to fish for some bigger fish and flip. And that's how I felt comfortable doing it. I pretty much targeted kind of main lake cover, mats. There were junk mats blown in, a lot of boats running around, the eelgrass chopped up. There was pennywort mixed in there. There were hyacinths in there. But pretty much smaller individual size mats with close access to the lake, where fish could be coming and going easily back to spawn or out when they're done spawning. And there's a lot of cover on the lake that kind of fit that criteria. It wasn't necessarily one spot I fished. I caught fish out of several locations, but the common thing was there were transitional fish coming and going with isolated cover. And I could do it anywhere from down south to up north and get bit doing that. As far as my bait choice, that was a little more strategic in what I decided to fish. And there was a new bait we just come out with, and it's called the Why Not. And we designed this bait over the last few months, specifically for flipping and punching heavy vegetation. And some of the key advantages of this bait, is built around a thick body, and that's the main thing. Because when you're flipping vegetation with a heavy weight, you get a lot of the hook will tend to pop out on thinner bait. So there's nothing more frustrating than punching into a mat and the hook's hanging out, it gets hung, you rip it out, you basically destroyed the mat before you even got a flip in on it. So we made this body a nice thick body with soft plastic, so you can still get a good hook set on it. It's full length body. That's a 5/0 straight shanked hooked in there, a big heavy wire hook, hold that big hook. That's one of the ways I fished it. And the other way I fished it was with a smaller 3/0, that's a Gambler KO 3/0 hook. And I pretty much just took kind of the first ½ inch of it off and got you get a real compact presentation. And with this bait being so streamlined, able to go through the mats, I was able to fish this bait on a 1.2 ounce. And 13 of the 15 fish I weighed in were all on a 1.2 ounce. So a lot of guys around me were flipping 1.5 and 2 ounce, trying to get bigger, bulkier baits or wider baits through that vegetation, and then have nearly the success. And I think a lot of it was just with the cooler weather, that lighter weight had a little bit slower fall, and those fish reacted to it better when it came down, versus seeing kind of the same 2 ounce weights come crashing down on them and coming through at 100 miles an hour with that real compact presentation, that Rain's 1.2 ounce weight. As long as I got that weight to go through, that bait would follow with it. That's the real key aspects with that bait. You're going to see if you start flipping it. It's just really compact. You're going to be able to get into vegetation that you wouldn't normally be able to get into with a lighter weight, and with the thicker body, you're going to be a lot more productive because your bait's going to be in the water more often than not, and you're still going to get a good hook set with the soft plastic that we have. So that's kind of the recap of what I was doing, how I fished, and the type of stuff I was targeting. So if you're on Okeechobee or on any lake with heavy vegetation, try going with a little bit lighter weight and a little more compact profile bait. Check it out. Let us know how you do on it. Put some pictures up on Facebook. Share it with us. Tell us how you like it.
It